Hey, welcome everybody. It's Georgezilla, Terrence G, and I'm Trent Lavelle Wainwright, and this is Food and Laughter. Today's guest, she's been doing comedy for a while. I just seen her TED Talk today. We did a show, well, not too long ago, about a couple weeks ago, something like that. By the time this airs, it's gonna be a couple months ago. And she just spilled her soda. Yo, give it up for Heather Jones.
Hey, what's up, Heather? Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Glad to have you.
And we told you to bring the Coke. That wasn't what we had in mind.
Dang it.
Slide it out on the table, it was just Diet Coke.
That's funny, man.
That is too funny. Hey, today's food is by Oklahoma Joe's. I can't forget it. We got the rib tips.
Damn.
We got the sweet potato fries,
Damn.
potato salad, baked beans. Please nobody take them because I want it to smell good in here. But Heather, what you bring today, Heather? For
I
us? What
brought
did you bring for us?
a Lithuanian tort from the Lithuanian bakery. By way of Bakers, they sell them there now too.
Okay.
So it is the bomb. My mother side is Lithuanian, and so when we moved to Omaha, she was like ecstatic, and it's flipping good tort.
Okay.
Yeah, Omaha has like a lot of food joints here,
Yeah,
right?
they
Like,
do.
you don't realize that until you get kind of embedded in the area. There's a lot of really good food.
Well, we
tucked
right in the middle of the
Yeah.
map, man. If you
Right.
think about it, we getting the north, south, east, west. We like dead center in
Huge
the middle, you know
congregation.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what's
So Heather, I'm gonna go ahead and start off and ask you a question real quick.
Okay.
How long have you been doing comedy, sweetie?
15 years.
Oh, okay. You almost
I
up there
know.
with my old butt. 15 years. So Heather, 15 years. Did you find it? Okay, I want to say this the right way. Being a female comedian, 15 years. Was it a hard struggle, or was it one of them things that it just came natural and you just went with the flow? You know?
Yeah, I just kind of went with the flow. I felt like I felt like, any disadvantage that I would have had being a female gave me an advantage in another way. So I figured it all evened out,
Okay.
There wasn't, the material I had available doing stuff about being a mom was, different than the other guys at the open, they weren't doing mom material, so.
Right.
And I wasn't at first either. And then when I started I had 3 kids when I started, and then I was like, what's funnier than 3, 4, and what's funnier than 4, 5. So I just kept going for the, no, I'm kidding. But when I got to 6, I had a friend that was like, wait a minute, you don't talk about your kids? That's all you should be talking about. That's all you, and he had like this thick New York accent. He's like, you got 6 kids and I don't even know. Anyway, so that's actually what focused on the material. But just, I guess, sorry, what was your question? When I was started any material I did, just being a female was different than, that's,
You got one more child and I got 5, so I understand.
Okay.
I
You got
understand
my pain?
Yeah, I got 5.
Yes.
I know where that material come from. It's easy.
Yeah, we definitely have time for the comedy and comedy questions, but let's focus on that. 6 kids.
6, okay.
Why?
Good question. I don't know. Adult ADD when I'm diagnosed way too long. That was my husband's an only child. My parents both came from large families, but we moved to the Midwest when I was really young. So we kind of grew up with stories about these big families, but never. I only had 4 kids. That still is a lot by today's standards, but it just felt isolated living in the Midwest, away from base camp, which was like West Virginia.
Right.
And every time we went back home, so I always felt like I was giving my, kids like your siblings are your gifts, those are,
Absolutely.
that's your, and then now they're all grown. I'm like, what the was I thinking? What? They could have just made really good friends with people. You don't choose your family, you choose your friend, all this stuff.
So we got boys, girls, both?
4 boys and then 2 girls. Yeah, in that order.
What's
So
the oldest, the youngest?
25 down to 13. Yeah.
Oh, you're still in the mix of the struggle.
Or wait, 12. Wait. Yeah.
Oh.
No, that's a typical parent answer.
12,
'cause
12.
I forget
Call
the-
CPS.
Like I said, why?
Call CPS right now.
No, we gotta give Heather a pass. When you got more than 2 kids, you forget everything, man. Birthday. I don't
Absolutely.
even
That's why
know.
y'all shouldn't have done it.
I don't even know that.
You're outnumbered at that point.
Hey, we like to practice.
Too much, a little
We
bit.
like to practice.
two martinis and 4 Xanax, and then
That's how you get
That's how you.
All you gotta do is turn on the Tubi movie for me, and I'm ready. You know what I'm saying?
Wow, this is this is turned into left field.
I knew this was gonna be fun.
Please help yourself. You're the guest.
I know.
you
I
can
think I
guess,
just
you
put
know.
it all
No,
on
that's
my own
fine.
plate.
Yeah,
You sure did, but I bet you can pass it.
That means you
around.
just got to eat it
Okay.
by the
Put
time
it in the
the interview's
box,
done.
whatever you want to
Chad is
do.
over there
Do you guys
working.
want some of this?
I mean,
Yeah,
yeah,
definitely
it's
You
called
guys-
food and
definitely
laughter.
gotta
There we
give
go.
it.
There we
Definitely
go. You
gotta
get the
give
end piece.
Perfect.
There we go.
All right.
There we
Thank
go.
you so
There we go.
much.
I am really worried about your blood sugar.
I'm scared. I mean, this thing looked like a diabetic
You know
coma. I'm gonna just
Oh,
be
yeah,
honest.
don't you start tripping, man.
There's a
I'm
hospital
giving you
somewhere
this big
around here,
one.
man. We're good. We're in the middle of a city, kind of, so we're good.
Sweetie, appreciate it.
That is
So
beautiful.
so let's talk though. So I also have seen your TEDx talk and everything. That was great. I really appreciated, especially as a comic, I really appreciated how you talk about humor is such an untapped resource for life, like for
yeah,
life
yeah,
in
yeah.
general, right? Like
For sure.
you can take it, you can weaponize it in so many ways. You can, add a little bit of comedy and flair to terrible situations and whatnot, right?
Right.
How does that view shape your comedy, especially in today's society where, whatever you think, right? There are people out there that would say comedy's getting harder because you can't say anything, right? How does that, how does
Right.
your lesson kind of trump that?
It was, well, I mean, God, I'm fish out of the water when that comes to it, but I think it's mostly online. I think when you get,
Right.
I mean, I think it's still very much alive because you need your whole body to express it in many ways. And when you try to do that online, so many people are just quick to, and
Right,
that's why I hate the internet. And I hope the electricity goes up, but I keep my air conditioning. No, I'm kidding. I'm just teasing, I'm kidding. I just hate you're right, the whole, where it's just too, okay, so I'm going off on a tangent.
That's what you're here for. You're the guest.
I'm taking
You're the
it.
guest. We're here to talk so you can talk and talk about you. We
But
wanna
like
get
when
to know
you're, when you're with your friends, you know what you know what's not good. You wouldn't necessarily say the things you do, which is I think is crap. Like if you're going to say it online, be prepared to say it in front of
Right.
things. But I think too the way it's said is different, and I think when you're feeling the moment, you're also not just interjecting your points of view. You're in a discussion, you're in a group, you're adding to it, and or taking it away if you suck. I don't know.
We live in a cancel culture, so it is kind of quite difficult to be sometimes yourself,
Oh, absolutely.
No, I don't. I'm still gonna be myself. They're gonna just have to cancel me because
Oh my gosh.
I ain't switching for nobody.
There you go. But you know what? But I think when you're in person, people don't take you that way.
Right.
People don't, aren't going to
Exactly.
jump on something you said because the way you said it is said with
They're
a
gonna do it
lightheartedness, a
online.
sense of a self-awareness, a sense of, a lot of times people say things because they know they shouldn't say it, and that's what's funny, and that's what I still think is hilarious. But even my kids are canceling me. I'm like, you all suck. Like, you can't say that. It's not appropriate.
Yeah, they always say that, but this new generation's so sensitive.
I'm gonna break the ice, man. I'm gonna just ask, man, who's the best 3 female comedians in the scene?
Oh, in the scene?
In the scene,
Oh,
just in the scene.
jeez.
Nebraska.
We're gonna
in
put
the
it on you
scene.
tough.
I'm
You gotta
gonna
answer.
throw it on. I'm gonna take a rib too because I know it's
That's
gonna
too
take you a
much.
minute too.
I can't.
You got to.
Because I can't. I feel like,
You ain't gonna. Hey, if you want her feelings, her feelings.
oh my God, no, those bees don't need any sort of. No, my 3 favorite ones are the ones that nope, they don't need me to.
The
to
3
speak
favorite, the
up for
one that
them.
you're on the show with this tonight, right?
right.
Next week.
I'm not plugging anybody else but me today. No,
I know that's right.
No, that's cool. You don't want to answer it.
No, because it's hard. This is like, when they have an awards thing and somebody gets left out and you don't want to leave anybody out. That's what that's
talk awards.
like, oh, so-and-so didn't get nominated, So I don't want to, there's a ton of them.
no,
There's a
that's
ton
cool.
of new ones. There's a ton of, Kendra Krabowski, Rachel Ware. They have been around for a while and established, and they have both comedy groups and, involved in improv, and then, there's Jocelyn Dubois, or Debonis. I made
I
her
think
French.
everybody messes up her last name.
Everybody messes up her
Oh
last
my
name. She's
gosh.
gonna be a guest actually next month.
And oh my gosh, and then there's and the name's escaping me. And I'm gonna see, that's another thing. Like the name, like I can picture everything about her, but the name escapes me at the moment, and so now I feel like a complete butthead. But
It's all
I want to
good.
set her up with my son. That's all I can say.
Oh.
So I probably shouldn't say her name.
No, and if we say her name, it's gonna be even more trouble. We should start spitting names.
Right, because I'm
Oh,
already
you mean this person?
I'm already thinking in my head like, you trying to say somebody's son? I can only imagine who that
Oh
could
no,
be.
because we all be in trouble if
We start doling out the comics for your son. That's going to be a problem.
Yeah. Oh, you mean this female? We're gonna be. Yeah, we be canceled. But
And there's so many that have like Andrea, and I didn't realize she hasn't done it for 10 years. But like when I, so there's a lot of people that I realize like, have stopped. There was Nikki Forrest, and so names that have, that are, you know what I mean? It's evolving list all the time. So I can't.
no, it's
Oh, and then there's like it's tip
no,
of my
no,
tongue.
it's all good. No, add nobody
Serenity
in.
Doherty.
That-
Serenity,
that's
I
cool.
can't forget
That's
Serenity.
cool. I like
It's
Serenity.
actually good to
I like
hear some of these
Serenity.
names because I always tell them like the female comics we don't hear a lot about them too much, and I know they're out there.
Yeah.
And I want to hear more, I want to see more content and more of the female comics out here, but like I said, they don't get mentioned as much. You know what I'm saying? But I know they're out there.
Yeah, I mean we are just in the kitchen.
He ain't paying attention. Huh? Speaking of awards,
No, that's but I think like I feel the same way, but like for like all comics, like
Well,
just to find like there's new and then there's
yeah.
you
Because it's got so much, everybody, there's a lot of clicks,
Yeah.
they click up and certain people only work with these people here.
Stay
these
out
people
of the
there.
clicks.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Well, I try to,
yeah, it's the stupidest thing. If you're in a local scene, stay floating.
nothing wrong with that.
And that
it's
wasn't
way too
like I
small.
was directed at you. You know what the hell
Oh.
you're doing, but like George.
I never thought
Stay
so.
out of the clicks.
I never thought so whatsoever because I'm my own clique.
There you go. People gravitate towards you. gotta shoo 'em
Either they
away.
gravitate or they run away the opposite direction. Not the easiest guy to deal with.
I'm
But
gonna say the latter.
Yeah, I saw his Facebook status earlier, man. This dude just wants to fight.
He just wants to fight anybody, man.
they call me a monster for a reason.
So you got a good range of kids, right? But you've got a mix in that 13 to 20 range. And so I'll kind of peel it back into like your comedy. And you said your kids cancel you, right? I imagine that's in jest. But is there a perspective they say they provide you that kind of shifts the way you make jokes, and how does that?
Well, I stopped name dropping him so much. They do. As they've gotten older, I've been a little bit more protective of what I'll say about them on stage because I realize that they can watch stuff
It's so easy,
but just like anything that I'm not, I will check with him. There's one particular one about my son that I'll actually, is it okay to tell this joke? And he gives me the go ahead, and then I pay him a percentage.
Yeah, because I was wondering, I got kids myself, and they're young, right?
Yeah.
But my oldest, he's 4. He's old enough to start feeling around and understanding things, and so I'm like, I wonder what this is gonna be like. Like, is this dude gonna roast the hell out of me?
Right.
This is gonna like really backfire.
Oh my God, they're just
They're gonna roast you.
Yeah.
My kids roast me all the time, man.
They do. They make
Oh
fun of
my
me.
God. They
Like,
do.
oh, they're, you're on TV, local, whatever.
just a way to cut it down.
right. Commercial, regional. Okay. Not part of SAG yet, Mom.
Yeah, my kids, they don't quite do that. They just roast me in general, just personal. But as far as like comedy, they think you're the king of comedy. I'm like, all right, son, that's cool that you're saying that, but I ain't the king yet,
Oh my God, that's amazing though. See, they still like revere what you do, and I
Yeah.
feel like that's all I wanted my kids was to look up to what I did, and they just are like.
But
Well,
it is close to
you
Christmas
should
too,
probably-
so they probably just being nice.
That's true.
My son laughs at everything, man.
Oh,
But he's only 2, so he don't understand nothing.
that's so funny. Brooke Barcel, another female comic. I'm just going to sprinkle them in throughout the rest of the
It's
interview.
too. You already. We said 3. You didn't name like.
I know, but
9,
as I told you, I couldn't
10.
leave anybody
I
out.
know.
And if anybody sees this,
They gonna see it. We gonna make sure everybody sees this.
Brooke.
That's
I love
cool.
Brooke.
That's what's up.
And then oh God,
It's all right if you leaving people
gonna
out.
drive me
That's
nuts.
gonna be on you at the end of the day. That's not gonna be on.
We're gonna
Murder you for making me answer that question.
we're gonna title the clip like Heather can't pick any female.
Yeah, we're gonna make a clip like that. Like,
Something like
who
that.
did Heather leave out of the
We're not
top
here to start
3
beef.
females?
I promise.
So, do you have any favorite male comics in the region that you like?
That's not no better. You just
I would say the ones I came up with, like the ones that so like my I think of like my core. I don't know if that's Nick Allen, Richard Reese, Austin Anderson, and those are Bill
The ones
Blank.
I know, those are all funny dudes.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
all funny dudes.
Bill
Very
Blank
funny
from Des Moines. The one that my buddy just passed, Brad Stewart. He was my comedy brother.
Please, Brad.
I love that. That was sweet. I don't know.
Yeah, that.
Yeah.
The kid touched the heart.
I was just gonna pour out my Diet Coke a little bit on the floor some more. Mike's
That's a
having
Diet
fitness.
Coke. That's a Diet Coke, not a 40.
You my home.
Yeah. In South Omaha, we are not off 24th and Ames.
That's how everybody out there views. Like they can tell that everybody here on set's a little bit older because we're drinking Diet Coke.
right.
It's not Mountain Dew or anything. It's
Checking our blood sugar and drinking Diet Coke.
Coke Zero.
Oh, they look at my stomach and they're like, he ain't drinking no Diet Coke.
That's funny. Now you've been a winner of the OEAA award 2 times.
Yes.
In a year. How you feel about the award format though? Has it always been the same? We had actually went through this with Keonis
yeah?
about how the award show is set up and
One of my favorite
everything like that. It's very favorite of George, but do you think it's a fair format of how they set it up? And you won twice, so my bad. I'm not
I think
knocking
it's
you.
perfect.
I bet you do.
I was nominated 3 times, by the way. But
I was gonna say, I thought you were nominated for a third, right?
And then the 3rd time I was nominated, Rachel won, and then I just disowned her since then.
Oh, okay.
I was-
Okay,
Dead to
no
me
problem.
ever since. No, I'm kidding.
Congratulations on your wins, though.
Well,
Yes,
thank you very
definitely,
much.
definitely congratulations.
I always so when you're nominated the first time, it's very exciting. You don't expect to win. You win, and then the second year, by the 3rd year, people were like just hating on me a little bit. Like you go to a place and people are giving you the side eye, and I know because when everybody complains about, like one time somebody didn't even know I was nominated and they were complaining about like some other person being nominated. And I was like, well, I was nominated too. I mean, people are not happy unless it's their friend on there, and I totally get that, and I totally understand. So I do not put too much, like it's an honor and I appreciate getting it, but I also know so many people should, like, I don't think Richard or Nick was ever nominated, or Austin,
But that's
not.
But that's almost like all the goals are, right? Like in my experience, right, when you're doing comedy, let's say you say, I want to do the Broadway Comedy Club stage.
Right.
You get up there, you do that stage, and it's great. But then what, right? Like
Right,
that's kind
right.
of how I'm gathering from you. It's like, this is great, but now what, right? Like it doesn't stop anything. I've still got to go out there and make people
Oh,
laugh,
right. You
Yeah.
still have, like, that's not the,
Right.
it wasn't like a retirement present.
See, my only problem with the awards is, like I said, just the format of how. I don't think they really. I don't like how the way they present it, or how they're not presenting it. Like,
What do you mean, like the actual ceremony?
yeah, like
or-
we're just I never know when the awards is coming out. I don't ever know who to, tell people to nominate me or nominate you or nominate.
Well, they got a
like,
website. Do you look at it?
Well, I mean, but here's the thing though.
Never
Here's the
mind,
thing
never
though.
mind.
Everybody don't know how to get to the website, or they don't. I'm like, where did the website, like,
Right.
when does it come out? Is there a date?
Right.
That's the only problem I have with it. That's the reason why I get pissed off every year.
I think they have. I mean, my understanding is, they'll. I think I've seen like where the nominations are open for like 3 or 4 months, and you send in. So it's like a long nomination process where people will just mail in whatever or email, and then I think they do like they interview club owners like Colleen. They'll ask her like who, and then or. People who run shows, and then they have their own board members, I think, also check it
I
out.
ain't
So
winning one.
you didn't know any of that?
process.
I'm not winning one.
That's a process.
you
It's a
what?
process.
I'm not gonna win one.
You're not going to win. Why? Because you've been
I-
talking crap on him on your TV show for like. Yeah, you kind of killed that. We should just make an
That's how this
alternative
works,
one.
too.
Grab that little clock guy, and that is going to be my comedy award to you.
Alternative comedy awards.
But I don't know. I mean, it's been a while, and you know, I don't think I'll ever win another one. So I don't. I haven't looked, and I don't know if
You
there's
got
stuff
3
has
underneath your
changed.
belt. That ain't bad.
Only 2.
Oh, 2. Well,
You're
that's
nominated
still
3
that ain't
times.
bad. There's only 2. That ain't bad.
Yeah, you were nominated 3 times, and then
Yeah.
But that's still.
I know, but like I said, it's like when, you know, the people that when it becomes a competition, your friends turn on you fast.
Yeah.
Man.
Now, do you do improv as well? Or
I
you,
did.
Okay, I was
I-
gonna say I thought you did, but do you
Yeah.
still do improv?
Not as much. My time has really been focused, unfortunately, the time allotment I have, I couldn't, so I would like to do it more, and but then I don't. So that's terrible.
You got 6 kids. You ain't got
You got 6 kids. Yeah, you
I know. I always feel like there's more time coming, and when I'm getting through this, you know, crisis period of their teenage years.
Are you
and
doing comedy full time?
Not full time, but it's the only thing I do outside of the house. So to me, it is my
So-
lifeboat. But it's
Yeah.
not, you know, I think I'm down to a couple times a month, and that's not enough for me. I need to bump it up. But then when I go to actively try to book, I forget what my password is on my computer. No, no, I will take, you know, sometimes 2 or 3 times a month, and then sometimes more like around Christmas time, it's more, you get more corporates and things like that. But, you know, during a slow month, it could be, you know, just a couple times, and that's, yeah. You guys are all avoiding eye contact with me now.
No, I'm looking right at
Okay.
you. I'm looking. What are you talking about? You looking over here?
You guys all look like I was just listening.
No, we're paying attention.
Okay.
We paying attention. What's the longest set you've done on stage?
Longest? I've done over an hour. I've done an hour. I think that's the longest anybody should do on stage.
Yeah, absolutely.
Have you ever sat with somebody who goes a half hour too long, and you're like, I'm going to kill this guy?
Yeah.
And Tracy Morgan did that, and I was like, I don't care how funny you are. My butt's asleep.
Yeah, at a certain point, it's not even comfortable to
Right,
sit there.
right.
It has
People
nothing to
need
do,
a
like,
break.
you could still be entertaining.
Right.
But I'm just like, okay, it's every 3 minutes now.
Right. I mean, yeah. And if you get up to go to the bathroom, the guy's going to yell at me or say
Right,
crap
right.
about it. You know, even at a concert, the band doesn't yell at you for going to the bathroom. So
You still get butterflies when you go on stage?
I do get nervous, and
15 years in, still getting nervous.
when I don't, that's what's.
Yeah.
So if you don't get nervous, that's when I don't think.
See, that's
I
what
had
I
a
was
great
I was
set.
like, man, maybe
It never goes
someday
away.
it'll go away.
It's
It
not
hasn't
as
yet.
bad. I don't have the whole trepidation the day of or the week of trepidation. It started with like if I had to perform, you know, the Saturday and it was Monday, and the whole week would just be like obsessed about that Saturday, where
right.
you're kind of just walking through
remember those days,
the
yeah.
motions, and then the day of you get up and you're still nervous. So now if I can contain it to like the hour or two before,
Right.
and kind of use that time I'm getting ready to meditate or rushing wherever I'm going. Not meditate,
I
but
still get nervous after 19 years, man.
Yeah.
I get
Do you?
I get a very little. It's just like a very little right before I get on stage.
Yeah.
And then once I grab that microphone, I metamorphose to another person. So,
Right.
I'm different. Like when I go, like I'm on my way to the venue, I'm like, okay, I think I'm funny now. And then like 5 minutes of the drive, I forget everything I've ever written, and it's like I've got to start over from scratch, right? and then you grab the microphone, and it all like comes back in this like weird mental download. You're like, oh yeah, I've done this.
Do you
before.
like oh crap, and like try to write like a set list and keep it in your pocket?
Sometimes, but
just
then
to
other
get
times I'm
scared?
like, oh yeah, it was just the you know
Nerves.
pre-game nerves or whatever.
That's
But
crazy. I don't even hardly practice the one unless I'm driving.
What?
I very seldom go over my sets or anything unless I'm just driving. It just in my head. Some people practice like I don't know. I've just been doing it so long. It's just like I get on stage, I have a beginning and an ending, and whatever come in the middle
Is
that's-
what you
exactly.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah,
so
everything's tailored.
yeah, so it's kind of hard. It's hard for me to put a set in order, and I've been like that scrambled, scatterbrained for the last 19 years doing that.
I feel you. I think the same way. Even if I write the set list in order, sometimes like you know, crowd interaction will take me into it backwards, and I'll end up doing it, you know, just all over the place. But
And
yeah.
it's not a bad thing. It's just that it's just something that I don't know. Some people are good at, I think this guy prepares really good. You know what I'm saying? He's like cross T's, dot I's, and I'm like, let's just do it.
It's like OCD, ADD, just like yeah.
Yeah.
Because I've never
You know,
walked in with a plan. Like I have ideas, but I
wanna
rarely
be
ever
more
walk in
like
with a
him
plan.
on that real talk. I really would, because I think the way he approaches is.
Well, it's interesting because when I first started, I always thought that there was like one way to do it, and that was to be very meticulous and
Right.
and very you do. And there is something to that if you're crafting and if you're working on a show. But there's also, like Lewis Black doesn't do that, and his style versus say, oh my gosh, George Carlin, completely different, kind of
Right.
like you two, but still, it's just your personal whatever has been working. I wouldn't change it up.
No.
Like, I just felt like you never feel like pressure from your peers when you're on the show. Like, because we did a show and I
Yeah.
saw the lineup and I was like, okay, I got to come with it because Heather on here, Kill on here,
my
Richard
gosh,
on here,
I-
Carmelo on here. Now I got to, if I don't come with it, I'm about to be embarrassed. You know what I mean? Like, you ever feel pressure from other comedians on the show?
Yes. Yeah, especially if they're ones I haven't worked with before or ones I have. You don't want to suck in front of your friends, and you don't want to suck in front of people that you that have heard good things about you, and then they meet you and they're like, oh yeah, no, that's not not what I heard.
Yep.
So there's always pressure.
Always.
Yeah, I feel like I suck the most in my hometown because that's where
You know
comfortable.
everybody.
Right.
Yeah.
You're comfortable. You're going to work on new material,
Yeah.
and you perform
You're
them.
gonna
It's
try
like
a few more.
you're going to have the most accidents within 2 miles of your house. You're going to bomb the most in your home club in
Oh, yeah.
town.
That is true.
That's very
So
good
I
analogy.
never, I never give, I never take for granted that it's going to be a good show.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. So what you got coming up, Heather? What you got?
I've got a New Year's Eve show in Upland, Nebraska with Jason Regan, and I think at the Backswing in February. Oh, my calendar's filling up, guys. Oh my
Lincoln?
God, book me before I'm so hot. I don't know if I'll be able to fit you guys in. Anybody wants to book me.
Well, we appreciate you having us.
Thank you
Well,
so
I appreciate you being on our show. That was nice.
absolutely.
You got socials you want to drop for anybody out there?
Oh, at the Heather Jones on Instagram and probably Twitter. I haven't changed my page. Yeah, I'm a bit of a Luddite. I'm so stupid. I can't. I'm never gonna ever master marketing on the internet. But I'm on Instagram.
It's hard.
All right. Hey, well, we appreciate you having you.
thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yep, George Zilla, Terrence G. I'm Trent Lavelle Wainwright. We had Heather Jones today, and this was Food and Laughter.
Yes.
You have a great night.
Yeah.